Every morning when the alarm rings, you may not realize it, but in that very moment, you're standing before one of the most important decisions of your life: to keep sleeping with your dreams or to wake up and turn them into reality. It sounds simple, just a choice between lying in bed for a few more minutes or getting up, but it is these small, repeated decisions that ultimately shape your entire life. Many people think just 5 more minutes doesn't matter, but those 5 minutes often turn into 10, then 20, and before they know it, they're rushing out of the house, breathless, already behind, as if the whole day is dragging them along without giving them a chance to take control. The truth is, hitting the snooze button doesn't just steal your time, it trains your mind to accept delay, to accept a passive way of living. Without knowing it, you're teaching yourself that temporary comfort is more important than long-term goals, that dreams can always wait another day, that discipline can be traded for ease. And day after day, you live in a cycle of compromise, letting opportunities slip away while you remain under the comfort of your blanket. Successful people aren't different because they have more hours in a day. They are different because they treat every morning as a fresh beginning. They understand that the alarm is not just a signal to open their eyes, it's a reminder to choose. They choose to get up, not because it's easy, but because they know discipline matters more than comfort. The body loves to sleep in. The mind loves to avoid effort. But goals, dreams, and the future never accept delay. That's why the moment you decide to rise, you're declaring that you control time, not the other way around. Imagine two different people starting the same morning. One hits snooze, curls back into bed, and finally gets up in a rush, skipping breakfast, flooded with notifications and emails, already overwhelmed. From the first minute, they are in a reactive state, being led by life instead of leading their own. The other, when the alarm rings, takes a deep breath, gets up immediately, and enters the day with clarity. They spend a few minutes moving their body, drinking water, breathing in fresh air, organizing their thoughts, and setting their intentions. The first spends the whole day chasing. The second spends the whole day leading. The biggest difference between them isn't intelligence or luck, it's the morning decision. One chose delay, the other chose action. What we call small decisions are in fact the levers of massive change. Habits don't just shape a single day, they shape a lifetime. The way you begin your morning is the way you approach challenges. Do you choose comfort or discipline, delay or action, letting your dreams drift further away, or pulling them closer into reality? Every morning is a chance to rewrite your destiny through choices that seem ordinary but carry extraordinary weight. Many people wonder why they remain stuck while others move forward. They forget that the gap isn't built overnight. It begins in stolen mornings, mornings surrendered to snooze, mornings of compromise, mornings of laziness justified with just a little longer. But those who rise immediately, who understand that a day is built from the very first minute, are quietly building their future with choices that seem small but compound into greatness. And one day, their results astonish the world, while others finally realize the gap was created in those lost mornings. So next time your alarm rings, remember you're not just deciding whether to wake up early, you're deciding whether to own your life or let life own you. You're choosing between drifting unconsciously through the day or living it with intention. A day that begins with discipline paves the way for success. A day that begins with delay only extends the cycle of failure. Choose the right beginning. Don't let your dreams live only in your sleep. Wake up, face the morning light, and start turning them into reality. There is a time of day when the world seems to pause. The streets are quiet, phones haven't started ringing, inboxes aren't overflowing, and the noise of life is still asleep. That time is early morning, the rare moment when you can touch pure stillness, a gift reserved only for those who rise before the rest. The magic of mornings lies in this. They give you full ownership of yourself before the world demands, distracts, and consumes your time. In those early hours, no one interrupts you. No emails, no calls, no meetings. Just you and silence. In that space, your mind is clearest, your spirit most awake, and you can hear the voice within you, something you can't access once the day pulls you into its chaos. Many see waking up early as a burden, an obligation. But those who truly see its essence understand that waking up early is a privilege. It gives you the power to begin first, to shape your day by choice rather than by reaction. Consider the contrast. Someone who wakes up late usually grabs their phone the moment their eyes open, instantly drowning in notifications, news, and social media. From the very first minute, their mind is overloaded and scattered. The entire day becomes a race, a cycle of chasing, of feeling behind, of being dragged by circumstances. Meanwhile, someone who wakes up early enters the day with intentional rituals, stretching, taking a deep breath, drinking a glass of water, writing down a few priorities, or moving their body. These simple acts may seem small, yet they hold the power to shape everything. One begins in chaos, the other in clarity, and that beginning alone decides who will lead the day. The magic of mornings is not just in the stillness, but in the sharpness of the mind. Science and lived experience both reveal that the first hours after waking are a golden window for creativity, problem solving, and fresh ideas. Before external distractions flood in, the brain enjoys a pure focus that allows you to dive deep into thought. Many great thinkers have leaned on this truth. Writers, scientists, artists, leaders, they reserve the morning for their most important work because they know its clarity is irreplaceable. You can feel this even in ordinary life. Step outside early, and the fresh air seems to cleanse your lungs, making your thoughts brighter and clearer. Sit at your desk while the house is still asleep, and ideas flow that would never appear in the noise of the day. Look in the mirror and remind yourself, before the world intrudes, that today can be meaningful. The key is perspective. Don't see morning as a duty, see it as an opportunity. Instead of complaining that you have to wake up early, realize you get to. You get to live in hours most people waste. You get to claim time for yourself before society pours its demands into your day. That is a privilege open to anyone brave enough to take it. Waking early doesn't just add hours to your day, it gives you a sense of ownership. When you start in stillness, you step into the day as a leader, not a follower. You no longer feel late, scrambling against the clock. Instead, you move calmly, already one step ahead. While others are rushing to catch up, you are ready to receive the day. That is the quiet strength of early mornings. This magic also shows up in your energy. A morning that begins with clarity naturally sets the rhythm for the entire day. A clean, focused, intentional start builds momentum. In contrast, a messy, distracted start can derail everything. Morning is like a switch. Turn it on correctly and the whole room lights up. Turn it wrong and you sit in darkness. Many successful people affirm that mornings are when they are most productive, not simply because they gain extra hours, but because those hours are the purest. In the silence of dawn, they don't just work, they reconnect with themselves, their goals, their purpose. That is the real difference between those who move ahead and those who fall behind. You don't need to be a genius to harness the magic of mornings. You don't need superhuman talent. You only need courage, the courage to rise a little earlier, to step into that quiet space and claim it for yourself. Try it for a week, just 1 week. Set your alarm earlier. Get out of bed, breathe, write a few lines, or simply sit in stillness. You'll feel the subtle but powerful shift. A clearer mind, a steadier spirit, a sense that the day is longer and you are in charge. The magic of mornings is not mystical. It is the simple blend of silence, time, and clarity. It's always there waiting for you to step into it. And once you've tasted it, you won't want to return to the old ways. Because you'll realize that in this noisy world, morning stillness is a luxury, and those who embrace it gain an undeniable edge. Every early morning is an invitation. Will you step out of comfort, step out of bed, and accept the gift? Let the silence nourish you. Let intention shape you, and let this magic become the launchpad for every success you're reaching for. An early morning only becomes valuable when you know how to use it. Waking up early just to scroll through your phone and let time slip away is no different from wasting the most precious gift of the day. The secret lies in building a simple system powerful enough to turn mornings into a launchpad for the entire day. That system has 3 parts: awaken the body, nourish the mind, and plan with intention. If you complete all 3, you don't just start the day alert, you give yourself an advantage over those still lost in the chaos of their own routines. The first step is awakening the body. Your body is like a finely tuned machine, and if it remains sluggish, your mind will too. Many people wake up only to sit in their drowsiness, letting the inertia drag them down. And as a result, the whole day feels dull. But the moment you move, everything changes. A few stretches, a couple of deep breaths, a quick workout, or even a short run are enough to ignite your energy. Blood begins to flow, your brain lights up, your nervous system sharpens, and morning grogginess quickly disappears. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers in history, used to train before sunrise. He believed those pre-dawn runs didn't just build stamina, they built willpower, keeping him ahead of his opponents. The lesson isn't that you must be an athlete to train early, but that anyone who wants to master life must begin by waking their body. The second step is nourishing the mind. Whatever you feed your mind in the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. If you start by diving into social media, scanning negative news, or swiping through endless images, you've already filled your head with distraction and pressure. But if you choose to read a few pages of a book, listen to an uplifting podcast, or write down your thoughts, goals, or ideas, you're planting seeds of clarity and focus. Warren Buffett spends hours each morning reading because he believes knowledge is the highest return investment. Thomas Edison consistently recorded his thoughts in journals, and that simple habit allowed him to capture ideas that might have been lost forever. When you feed your mind with learning and reflection, you don't just enrich knowledge, you create a mental state that's steady and ready for whatever lies ahead. The third step is intentional planning. This is the key to owning your day instead of letting the day own you. Many people jump into work with no clarity, chasing tasks blindly, and end the day exhausted yet unfulfilled. Try doing it differently. Spend a few quiet minutes writing down the 3 most important things you need to accomplish today. Once you have that list, you have direction and the strength to say no to distractions. Oprah Winfrey devotes time every morning to setting her daily intentions, visualizing how she wants her day to unfold, and aligning her actions with that vision. This practice protects her energy from being scattered by the trivial and ensures it flows toward what truly matters. A morning plan, however simple, is like a map. It keeps you on course instead of lost in an endless maze of tasks. When these 3 parts combine, the effect is undeniable. You don't just have energy in your body, clarity in your mind, and direction for your day, you also gain an advantage no one can take from you. It doesn't depend on your background, your luck, or your circumstances. It depends only on your decision. Will you use your morning to build yourself or let it slip away? Think of your morning as a lever. If you use it correctly, you can lift the entire day to a higher level. If you neglect it, it becomes a weight that drags you into inertia. Awakening the body, nourishing the mind, and planning with intention. These 3 steps are the fulcrum that gives you momentum, and it doesn't require hours. Even 30 to 60 minutes are enough to change everything. The issue isn't duration, it's focus and consistency. Most people underestimate the power of small habits. They wait for big changes in life, forgetting that small steps repeated every morning create the breakthrough. Someone who reads 10 pages each morning finishes over 3,000 pages in a year, the equivalent of dozens of books. Someone who writes 5 ideas a morning will have 150 in a month, one of which could change their life. Someone who faithfully sets 3 key priorities each day will have completed more than 1,000 meaningful actions in a year. The strength of the 3-part system lies not in one morning, but in its repetition day after day. If you feel unfocused, out of control, or weary as your days slip by, start again with your morning. Don't let it pass unconsciously. Choose to move your body to awaken it. Choose to learn or write to clear your mind, and choose to set goals to direct your energy. Once you master those first hours, you master the rest of your time. Morning is the foundation of the day. If the foundation is strong, the whole house stands tall. If the foundation is weak, everything collapses. And the 3-part system is how you build that foundation with energy, wisdom, and direction. Maintain this habit, and you'll realize you're no longer living by accident, but living with intention each morning, carrying you closer to the life you're meant to create. Waking up early is not just a habit, it's a declaration. Every time you open your eyes before dawn, every time you step out of a warm bed while your mind begs for just a few more minutes of comfort, you're declaring, I own my time. I own my life. Early risers are not stronger, luckier, or more gifted. What sets them apart is mindset. They understand that every morning is a test, and choosing to get out of bed is the first act of discipline. The greatest temptation each morning isn't work, family, or responsibilities. It's the quiet voice inside whispering, just 5 more minutes. You deserve it. If you obey, you train yourself in the art of delay. If you resist, you train yourself in the art of discipline. The difference between success and failure is found in that seemingly ordinary moment. Failures believe they'll start tomorrow. Successful people know there is no perfect tomorrow, there is only now. Steve Jobs had a morning ritual. He would look into the mirror and ask himself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? The question was simple, but it forced him to strip away the meaningless and focus only on what mattered. A mindful mindset activated in the morning helped him reshape technology and inspire millions. Former Navy SEAL Jocko Willink is famous for waking at 4:30 a.m. daily. He doesn't do it because it's easy. He does it because he knows discipline beats motivation. Motivation is fleeting, dependent on feelings. Discipline is the foundation that allows you to act even when your body and mind resist. That habit of rising early with unshakable discipline became living proof that controlling your morning means controlling your life. Poet Maya Angelou also embodied the power of the morning mindset. She reserved her early hours for writing alone in silence, free from interruption. For her, mornings were a sacred time to hear her inner voice, to touch deeper emotions and creativity. From those quiet hours came timeless works that touched hearts around the world. What do they all have in common? None of them were born morning people. It was a mindset forged through practice, a decision repeated daily, a discipline built over time. They chose action over delay, discipline over comfort, rising early over clinging to a soft pillow. From that choice, they built extraordinary lives. The mindset of early risers is not about hating sleep, it's about valuing time. They see morning as golden space, untouched and pure, where no one makes demands, where they have full authority over themselves. In that time, they prioritize what nurtures their body, their mind, and their spirit. By the time the sun rises, they are already one step ahead of the world. But remember, this mindset doesn't form in a single day. It begins with small victories. Each time you resist the snooze button, each time you rise when the alarm rings, you strengthen the mindset of mastery. Each time you give in, you strengthen the mindset of procrastination. Over time, those repetitions decide who you become. To cultivate this mindset, you must change how you view the morning. Don't see it as losing sleep, see it as reclaiming time for yourself. Don't think you're forcing yourself. Realize you're giving yourself an opportunity. Don't wait for inspiration, it won't last. Build on discipline, it will carry you for life. Early risers don't seek ease, they seek advantage. While most of the world is still asleep, they have hours to train, learn, create, or simply think. While others begin their day rushed, they begin with calm intention. That's where the gap forms, the gap between those who lead and those who forever chase. The mindset of early risers is the mindset of self-leadership. They don't let circumstances dictate their rhythm. They set their own pace. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create them through discipline. They don't live reactively. They live proactively. And it all starts with a single, simple act: waking while the world is still asleep. When you rise early, you don't just gain hours, you forge a discipline that seeps into every part of life. It shows up when you need endurance at work, when you face challenges, when you must say no to temptation, to remain loyal to your long-term goals. Morning is where you train, life is where you reap. So ask yourself, how do you want to live? Do you want the alarm to decide your life, or do you want to rise and declare that you're in control? Every morning is a choice between short-term comfort and long-term strength. Early risers have already chosen, and that choice makes all the difference. In a world of constant noise and rushing, nothing is more precious than moments of solitude in the morning. While the city still sleeps, you step into a space that belongs only to you. No ringing phones, no flooding emails, no demands from others, just you and silence. This is not loneliness, but a sacred space to return to yourself, to hear your deepest thoughts, to filter out the noise and reach the voice within. Albert Einstein once said, "The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. He often spent mornings on long, silent walks, allowing his mind to roam freely. It was in those seemingly idle hours that great ideas were born. Leonardo da Vinci understood this too. He believed that when you are alone, you fully belong to yourself. But when someone else is present, you belong only halfway. Morning stillness is when you have full authority over your thoughts, emotions, and dreams. Mahatma Gandhi, who led a nation, began each day in absolute silence. He believed that without grounding himself first, he could not lead others effectively. Kobe Bryant, the embodiment of the Mamba mentality, spoke often about lonely mornings in the gym, training while the world still slept. For him, solitude wasn't just about skills, it was the moment he built the belief that he was already ahead of everyone else. The power of solitude lies in its ability to bring you face to face with yourself without interruption. Without noise to distract you, you must confront your inner world. What you think, what you feel, what you truly want. Most people avoid this. They drown every quiet moment in social media, movies, or work anything to escape the chaos inside their own mind. But the truth is, only in solitude can you answer life's real questions. Who am I? Where am I going? What really matters to me? Early morning is the perfect time to practice this. Switch off your devices, sit quietly for 15 minutes, write down your thoughts, take deep breaths, or simply notice your heartbeat. In that silence, your mind settles, the clutter dissolves. What remains is clarity, and from clarity comes better decisions, sharper priorities, and stronger direction for the day. Solitude also fuels creativity. Writers, musicians, scientists all seek quiet mornings to create and explore. Maya Angelou chose mornings for writing because she believed emotions were most honest then. Haruki Murakami began his mornings with long runs before writing, finding rhythm for both body and spirit in solitude, allowing his words to flow effortlessly. Creativity requires space, and morning solitude is the richest soil for it. But solitude is not reserved for artists or geniuses. It's for all of us. You may not write a novel or paint a masterpiece, but you need clarity to lead your own life. Only when you sit alone can you truly hear your heart and know your next step. In a world of distractions and expectations, morning solitude is like a compass reminding you to walk your own path instead of being swept away. Imagine beginning your day not by rushing into tasks, but by giving yourself space. Sitting in the soft light of dawn, breathing, writing words of gratitude, or simply listening to the quiet. When you step into the day with such clarity, every action becomes stronger. You don't react in haste, you act with intention. You don't get pulled, you lead. The problem is most people fear solitude. They feel uneasy when nothing fills the space. Yet it is exactly in that emptiness where growth happens. In silence, you face your fears, your doubts, even your unspoken dreams. In silence, you learn to endure discomfort, and in doing so, you grow. Morning solitude is medicine for the soul and the mind. It is the time when you fully belong to yourself, undivided. It gives you strength to step into the noisy world with a refreshed heart and a centered mind. Miss it, and the world takes over you from the first hours. Protect it, even for 15 to 30 minutes each morning, and you'll carry that calm and clarity into the entire day. The true power of solitude isn't about escaping the world, it's about being strong enough to face yourself. When you rise early and claim this time, you are building an inner foundation, and that foundation will hold you steady through every challenge. So give yourself the gift of morning solitude. Let it be the place where you recharge, create, and realign. Let it become the anchor for your day and for your life. Because only in solitude can you truly hear yourself. And when you hear yourself, you'll discover the path forward with certainty, peace, and inner strength. Success has never been an accident. It doesn't come from sudden luck, nor is it a gift handed down by fate. Success is the result of small habits, repeated daily with discipline and clear intention. And among all those habits, morning is the foundation. Across the world, from entrepreneurs and artists to politicians and athletes, successful people share one thing in common. They build a morning ritual. These rituals don't just help them begin the day with clarity and focus. They train the body and mind to step into readiness for whatever they must conquer. Benjamin Franklin started each day with a simple question: what good shall I do today? That single question anchored his purpose from the first moment, instead of letting the day slip by aimlessly. Howard Schultz, former CEO of Starbucks, woke at 4:30 a.m., exercised, reflected, and then enjoyed a quiet cup of coffee while reviewing his goals. This consistency gave him steadiness in an industry defined by speed and relentless pressure. Even Barack Obama, during his presidency, reserved his mornings for exercise. For him, physical strength and mental clarity were inseparable. A healthy body was the foundation for sharp decision making, and his morning routine became a shield for his focus amid life or death choices. Bill Gates, one of the world's most powerful men, began his mornings by reading books and reports. He believed knowledge is the only investment that never loses value, and morning is the best time to expand the mind. Mahatma Gandhi chose silence and meditation. For him, the morning wasn't a time to rush, but a time to master the mind before stepping into the currents of the world. Arnold Schwarzenegger provides another example of morning power. Long before he became a bodybuilding legend, a Hollywood star, or a political leader, he used visualization. Each morning, Arnold imagined himself victorious, standing at the top. He saw it so vividly that both his body and his mind had no choice but to act accordingly and make it real. What's striking is that there's no universal formula. Each successful person's morning ritual looks different, but there is one commonality: intentional design, repeated with absolute consistency. A morning ritual is like a compass, ensuring that throughout the day you don't lose direction to distractions or outside pressures. So, what's the basic structure of an effective morning ritual? It doesn't need to be complicated or take hours. A strong morning usually centers on four things: wake up as soon as the alarm rings, move your body, feed your mind, and set your priorities. Don't hit snooze. That small act plants the seed of procrastination. Let a few minutes of movement wake your energy. Spend time reading, writing, or meditating to nourish your mind and spirit. Finally, write down the 2 or 3 most important tasks for the day. Do these 4, and you've laid a foundation strong enough to carry the whole day. A powerful morning ritual doesn't just change the day, it compounds into strength over a lifetime. People often underestimate the power of repeated small habits. A few pages read each morning add up to dozens of books in a year. A journal with a few lines a day becomes a treasury of ideas. A short workout each day transforms your health in the long run. Consistency, not intensity, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The key is that your ritual must fit you. Don't copy someone else's routine blindly. Experiment, adjust, and discover what aligns with your rhythm, personality, and goals. For you, it might be a 30-minute run. For someone else, it might be 10 minutes of meditation or simply a warm glass of water and a page of writing. What matters is not the form, but the consistency and the intention. Once you've designed a morning ritual that's truly yours, you'll notice the difference. You won't enter the day rushed or reactive. Instead, you'll step in calm, confident, and prepared because you know you've started right. Over time, this ritual doesn't just change mornings, it changes you. It makes you more disciplined, more focused, more resilient. Success never begins in the middle of the day. It begins the moment you open your eyes. What you do in that first hour ripples into every decision and action that follows. Successful people know this, which is why they never let mornings slip by unconsciously. They protect them, honor them, and turn them into irreplaceable rituals. So ask yourself, is your morning serving your highest goals, or is it just a repetitive cycle of fatigue and delay? If the answer isn't what you want, then it's time to redesign your morning ritual. Start simple. Start tomorrow. And as days turn into months, you'll see that ritual doesn't just change your mornings, it transforms your entire life. Waking up early sounds simple, but anyone who has tried knows it's a real battle. And the battleground isn't outside, it's in your own mind. The alarm rings, and the sweet comfort of your blanket pulls you back. Your body begs for rest. Your mind whispers, just 5 more minutes. Before you realize it, 5 minutes become 30, and the morning is gone. Overcoming the challenge of waking up early isn't about alarms, it's about mindset, habits, and discipline. The first challenge is a false belief. I'm just not a morning person. This isn't truth. It's the story you tell yourself to justify delay. No one is born a morning person. or a night owl. These are simply results of repeated habits. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wakes up at 4 a.m. to train. Do you think he enjoys getting up at that hour? Absolutely not. He does it because he knows discipline creates advantage, and advantage never lives in comfort. Tim Cook, Apple CEO, rises at 3:45 a.m., not because of some genetic gift, but because he chooses to sleep earlier to protect his energy. They are not extraordinary in biology, only in their training. The second challenge is staying up too late. Many want to wake up early but can't let go of late night scrolling, binge watching, or overworking. You can't expect an early morning if you sacrifice sleep to meaningless distractions. To rise early, you must first learn to rest well. The body needs 6-8 hours to restore. Begin by shutting off screens at least an hour before bed, lowering blue light, reading a book, journaling, or breathing deeply so your body knows it's time to wind down. Waking early doesn't begin in the morning, it begins the night before. The third challenge is morning grogginess, known as sleep inertia. Everyone feels it. The difference is successful people don't let it control them. The secret lies in immediate action. The moment your alarm rings, sit up, put your feet on the floor, take a deep breath, drink water, or splash your face with cold water. These small actions send signals to your brain. The day has begun. If your alarm is right next to your pillow, you'll snooze it without thinking. Place it across the room so you must get up to turn it off. Once you're on your feet, you've already won the hardest battle, the resistance of the first few minutes. Another challenge is lacking a reason to wake up. If there's nothing to look forward to, your mind will always choose comfort. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin, fills his mornings with things he enjoys, exercise, family time, or activities that make him feel alive. That anticipation turns waking up from a have to into a want to. Create your own reason, a book you love, a personal project, a workout, or simply a quiet cup of coffee. When your morning holds joy, you'll rise for it. Then comes impatience. Many try waking early for a few days, feel tired and quit, but like any habit, it must be built gradually. If you usually wake at 8 a.m., don't force yourself suddenly to rise at 5. Pull it back 15-30 minutes at a time each week. Your body adapts naturally, and within a month, you'll be surprised to wake earlier without resistance. Remember, success isn't built in giant leaps, but in consistent small shifts. Finally, the greatest challenge is inconsistency and lack of accountability. Alone, it's easy to give in to comfort, but with a system of reminders, you'll persist. Find a partner to wake up with, share goals, and check in with each other. Or use a habit tracker to record progress. The more external accountability you create, the stronger your internal motivation becomes. Waking up early is not victory over a clock, it's victory over yourself. It teaches discipline, resilience, and the ability to resist small temptations that carry heavy consequences. When you train yourself to rise the moment the alarm rings, you also train yourself to face challenges instead of avoiding them. When you learn to sleep earlier and let go of trivial late night habits, you train yourself to prioritize what truly matters. And when you create reasons to rise, you train yourself to live with purpose, not autopilot. Overcoming the challenge of early rising is about building a foundational discipline. It doesn't just help you start the day alert, it spreads into every corner of life. Your work, your relationships, your health, your dreams. The true winner is not the one who wakes the earliest, but the one who sustains the discipline the longest. And once waking early becomes habit, it stops being a battle, it becomes a privilege. A privilege to own yourself before the world even touches you. The way you begin, your morning never stops at the first few hours. It's like dropping a stone into a still lake, ripples spread outward, touching everything. A small habit at dawn can transform your day, and repeated daily, it can transform your entire life. The power of a strong beginning lies in this ripple effect where each small choice sparks a chain reaction leading to great change. Picture two people. One starts by hitting snooze, rushing in panic, scrolling social media for a false sense of alertness, then stepping out the door already exhausted. All day, they're reactive, distracted, busy yet ineffective, always feeling behind. The other rises when the alarm rings, stretches, hydrates, writes down 3 priorities. When they step outside, they carry clarity and control. Their day flows with rhythm shaped from the morning clear, disciplined, and calm. The difference between them doesn't come from talent or luck, it comes from that first decision of the day. The ripple effect is stronger than you imagine. A simple act like making your bed creates your first victory. Admiral William McRaven once said, if you want to change the world, start by making your bed, because one completed task leads to another, then another, and the chain of success grows from a simple beginning. Margaret Thatcher rose at 5 a.m. to read and reflect before tense meetings. That quiet preparation gave her the confidence to face history. Haruki Murakami turned morning runs into a ritual that cleared his mind and fueled novels read by millions. Maya Angelou wrote in morning silence, birthing works that live forever. Winston Churchill prepared his mornings meticulously, enabling decisions that shaped the world. What they share is an innate genius, it's consistency. They understood that a strong start creates momentum, and momentum carries them through challenges. That's the ripple effect. One small habit builds bigger ones. One powerful morning builds a powerful life. You felt this too. Think back to mornings when you woke early, exercised, ate well, planned clearly. The whole day you were sharper, calmer, more resilient. Now recall the days that began in chaos, you dragged through stress, procrastination, and regret. That's not coincidence. That's the ripple effect at work. Morning is the first piece of the puzzle. And when that piece is in place, the whole picture fits. And the power of your morning doesn't stop with you. It touches those around you. Enter work with clarity, and you elevate your colleagues. Bring calm to your family, and you spread peace. A strong morning doesn't just make you more successful, it makes you a better version of yourself for everyone you meet. The ripples extend outward to family, friends, co-workers, even community. The beauty is, you don't need to change your whole life overnight. Start with small steps. Wake just 15 minutes earlier. Make your bed. Move for a few minutes. Write down 3 goals. These habits may seem trivial, but repeated, they redefine your life. After a week, you'll feel the shift. After a month, you'll notice composure and control. After a year, you'll marvel at the distance between who you were and who you've become. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is the foundation. Each morning, when the alarm rings, you have 2 choices. Press snooze and delay your life, or rise and prove you're stronger than comfort. That choice, repeated daily, shapes the person you become. So here is the call to action. Challenge yourself for 7 days. Just 7. Wake early with intention. Each morning, do 3 things. Move your body, feed your mind, set your goals. After 1 week, you'll see the magic. A sharper mind, deeper energy, confidence flowing into every decision. Once you taste the ripple effect, you'll never want to return. When you own your morning, you own your day. When you own your day, you own your life. Don't let another morning slip by unconsciously. Don't let your dreams live only in sleep. Wake up, step into the morning light, and begin your journey. Because success, discipline, growth, and a meaningful life all begin with that single small act. The choice to rise, to own, to live with purpose. And from this day forward, let the ripple effect of a powerful morning carry you to the life you were always meant to live.